Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Hopefully I'm coming through all okay. It's time for some Hadrian's Wall, right? I need to change the lag so it's on less of a delay for future streams. Oh, there we go. It's changed. I think it's all working. The sounds are bouncing and things. So it's time for Fort 8, this is, right? Of solo Hadrian's Wall, which means it's going to be Vercovicium. And rules: we cannot acquire any diplomats. You must have a total strength of 12 between both gladiators. They do not need to survive and have no disdain at the game's end. Challenge: do not use any favours, which I think last time, didn't we have a look? And favours are the freebies, right, that you get from temples and diplomats, which we're not allowed to do the diplomats anyway. But yeah, favours are these, so we can use the temples and fill them up, but we are not allowed to use those abilities if we want to win the challenge, of course. But okay, so there's no point goal here, but we need to really focus on strength of the gladiators and no disdain. So we can still go to the baths though. So priority on trying to defend and doing some performer track. Probably doing the theatre if we're doing the performers track anyway. And we don't need to worry about points going in the market and all of that. Still want production, still want to get ahead in stuff. But I thought, like, because I haven't really gone into them so much. Marty is... hi, James. Hi, Master Yoda, by the way. Marty is in a huff, unfortunately, at the moment. But maybe he'll appear. His Marty cam is ready and at the waiting if he appears. So yeah, I don't normally do the gladiators, and really, probably since our first few multiplayer games, I don't think I've tried gladiators. So to refresh my memory, and maybe you haven't seen the gladiators yet. So you've got two different gladiators you can train. You've got the red and the blue. You've got to have built the building, got to the point on the track, all the standard stuff. Once built, as an action, you can spend a servant or a civilian to have one of your two gladiators train. Every time they train, they increase in strength. This is indicated by circling the leftmost available box that hasn't been filled for whichever gladiator you're training. To do this, you've got to have it tells you how many spaces along the performance track you need to be before you can train them to that level. Yep. Each gladiator can only be trained 6 times. And then after training 80 gladiators, you can have them battle against other trained fighters rather than just training with puny servants and civilians. So you decide which gladiator will battle, and then you write the year number. Each gladiator can only battle once per year, but you don't have to battle with them. You can just have them train, because they might die. And if we need 12 total strength with the gladiators, we really do not want to risk them dying. So you decide which gladiator will battle, write the year number in their column, because you can only do each gladiator once per year. Then you turn over the top card from the fate card draw pile, and a section we never usually look at, this section here. It's either going to be 1, 2, or 3. It's the damage the player's gladiator will now take. They take damage by filling in their circled boxes. If you would receive more damage than you have strength, you don't fill in extra boxes. If they've now got 0 health left, they're dead. And depending at what training level they died, you gain a certain amount of piety. So if they die straight away, you get 2 piety for that. But if they still have 1 health or more, they win, and you get renown, more and more and more renown, depending on how trained they were. And so, that's their health for next time. So you probably want to train them a few times. Yeah, get the most circled box. And that's all of the gladiator stuff. So heavy defense early and gladiators can wait a little bit. I think that because it worked out for temples, didn't it? I mean, even I thought I'd left it a little bit too late on temples, and it went all right. I haven't picked that card, by the way, as my year 1 card. That was me trying to measure how zoomed in I could be. Right then. So we have a servant and a citizen as our rewards for meeting the challenge last time. Let's get into it then. So on the card we have 2 soldiers, 3 builders, a citizen, servant, and a resource. And then our choices. So we have completed citizen tracks, completed cohorts. If we're going to go into defense, cohorts seems more likely, doesn't it? But at the same time, having soldiers might help us with that early defense. I think completed cohorts might be more likely. I don't know what I'm going to do with citizen tracks. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do them, but they're not kind of a priority. So I think I'm going to go for the cohorts. And so I get that's my shape. I want to do some scouting. Usually I do want to do some scouting, but I don't really like starting off with that shape. Make things more difficult later. So I get a servant and a citizen that's on the bottom of the card I didn't take. And then income is in our resource production, which at the start of the game is just the 1 resource. But that's a nice little nest egg of stuff to start with, isn't it? Okay, then, so if I want to go for the theatre, because if we need to go along this track a load to get the Ludus Gladiatoris, you can do the theatre once per year. I used to love the theatre right at the kind of start of playing, and then I think I got too distracted by it generally. I will fill at least 1 citizen track in, but I think I can fill a cohort in. Right, yeah, because you want to get the performance to 9. If you need to get their strength to 12, you've got to get your performance all the way. So I think hopefully this colour will work, actually. I did ask Rach to bring me the other colour of pen, but hopefully it's dark enough that you can see through. So if I want to build the theatre, to get the most use out of it, I need to spend a citizen on the performance track. And that's okay, isn't it? We can tell that that's coloured in, hopefully. We can tell all the way. And that gets me a builder. And I need a builder and a servant and a resource to build the theatre, which gets me a renown. It's a different kind of start. Usually I'm kind of building up production and stuff. I might still do that. So I've got the theatre now. But this is my last resource getting spent already. We can get more though if we just spend a couple of things on foresting. So yeah, it's a resource. You put in the year number. So year number 1. And I get a movement up the trader track, which gets me a servant. And as long as I've got resources to spend once per year, better and better things. And I've got to be moving along that track. Because we've been getting, haven't we, enough along this that I've been getting the small hotel in year 1. Which could be possible, you know. I don't know if it is. So I probably want a couple along here to get that first income of stone. And it gets you a stone right now. So I could, in theory, get that small hotel, right? If I was willing to. So that's to build the small hotel. I've got a couple of builders here that we can use to go along the fort track. And then a citizen could move us along a Peritoris to get me a builder, which I like because I'm thinking the baths are going to be a good opportunity later on. So that gives me another builder, which I can use to get to level 2 building. And now I'm allowed to build the small hotel. There's my stuff set aside for it. And that gets me a citizen right now and 1 every year. So really good if you can get the income things in early. So a citizen right now. And then what? I want to spend at least 1 soldier up here, don't I? Get him on the wall guard, get a cohort built. So what do you reckon? Which direction for the cohort? We have 1 tiny fraction of information a card with right on has come out. So I'll leave it to you. I've still got 2 citizens, so I could use them. I'm not going to need to build the granary right now. I could get, we start moving along that patrician's track, and then that's a resource which I could use to get another citizen back. We might as well do that. So spend a citizen to move along there. And that gives me a resource, which we can spend straight away on the wall here and give me a citizen back. And I might use both. Yeah, because the precincts need us to be at 3. We need to be at 4 on the priests. I think I'm going to go for another soldier to get another early cohort. And moving to the courthouse early might not be a bad shout, although it's quite expensive to build. I'm going to move along the patrician's track 2 steps, get me another soldier, and then my 2 soldiers can go here for a discipline. Doesn't get me anything just yet. And then a second cohort. Middle James. Oh, we need another one now. So we're getting 1 in the centre. We're only getting, it's 1 card, right? I can't see my numbers because I've tucked this right in. And I can't see, it's so small on my preview screen. I took this board in so it, so I can zoom in more. It's always my focus. Try and zoom in on the game as much as possible. Yeah, it's 1 card in the first year. So probability-wise, we could go for left to protect a little more against it. Although there's only been 1 card and there's loads of each direction, isn't there? Who knows where it's going to be. I think I'm going to go with probability for now. Partly because I forgot to put the stream on super low lag. And there we go. There is our first year. So our first picked attack is coming from the left. So probability worked out. We protected against it. So the grey number is a 1 as well. So that gets us the 1 Valor. And that's it. Year 2 then. There's nothing extra to do, is there? Picked card. Another one from the left. So it's giving us 1 soldier, 3 builder, 1 servant, 1 citizen, 2 resource. My choice... Oh, I didn't look at the AI cards, but yeah, there's no way I was going to use them. Go in case we have them out. So resource production, completed scout columns. Usually what I do is completed scout columns, but that's the shape I'd really like to have for scout columns. I don't really care about points though, do I? It doesn't matter. I shouldn't really be thinking about them, should I? I should maybe have just gone for the one that... I think I did better though. Like I might do better this time taking the more things. Although I do want soldiers and I do want to progress along this wall guard a lot. Taking 2 different things. The wall gives you cohorts a lot. Having that resource could help out. That's actually something I should have been thinking about. That you shouldn't really care how many points you get from it. So have I taken the wrong one? If you want scout columns, that's the one to take. Yeah, I think I just said the opposite thing, but now, yeah, I've talked myself into, I like that shape, I'll have soldiers available, I'm going to go for that one. Right, and then income is 2 resources and a citizen. And I'm going to go straight away. Scouting, patricians is already at 2, so we can do our first scout by spending a soldier. And I'm just going to go straight in with a column, 2, 3, 4, using my shape up in the corner, and get me 2 resources. Got to watch out for an overload on resources, but it should be fine because we can get a lot of resources used here just by going a couple more along the builder's track, and then the small workshop is 3 resources to get income of more builders. So that gets us a citizen and building level 3. And then just 3 of these many, many resources gets us that small workshop and a builder. But we're going to have to think about the medium granary. I want one, before I forget, one resource to go. Oh, it's going to have to be a citizen as well, so we're at the second stage. Oh, I need to be at 3. Yeah, 2 citizens is fine. So we're at 3. That gives us another servant. And then I spent the resource. We can have a soldier and a discipline. No bonus from that just yet. And okay, now what? Well, another step up the patricians. And you can have another 2 resources. Fill in another column. I don't think we can complete the scouting like we've done in the past. Okay, it'd be nice to get some more income. Maybe we do just need to get the granary sorted quick. A couple of citizens up in the traders can get us, start getting us the precincts. We're ways off from the gardens and all of that stuff. I can't build diplomats, can I? To refresh my memory. I cannot acquire any diplomats. Just remind yourself before you think about taking one. So the patricians try, like, all the tracks are a bit, like, weaker in a way, aren't they? Because you don't really need the points and things. So I don't know that I'm going to get all the way to that production. Because I want to have stuff so that I'm going to have, you know, servants and citizens to be able to spend later on. One more resource and we're right there on the wall. Why don't we go for one more citizen on the patricians, gets us a renown, and then we can scout again, get another 2 resources. That's the second scout. One more and we can scout again. And that shape, I think that's only the first time we've seen the shape, so we'll be able to do it again later. Fill these up, get loads of valor, more soldiers to do more things. We've got to be thinking about protecting us a little bit, though. So the wall, how about 1 there, 1 there, and that gets us a citizen. And then the third is going to get us a renown and a cohort. So where do you think the cohort should be? Should we even it up and put it in the right? Or do you think somewhere else? We're getting, is it 3 attacks this time? The renown, though, is going to give us another citizen. And then we've got that cohort coming. So we've got another one that we could go on. I was thinking even it out, James. I'll go for that. Got 1 on each. And the others are a bit of a way off, aren't they? Are we going to build any more things? We should probably build the granary, just so that's out of the way. Should we? I want more resource production. How are you going to get that, though? Well, get to 3. Yeah, easily. Next space along here with a builder gets me a citizen. 2 citizens here gets me to 3 on the traders track, which gets me a builder back. And then first precinct available. Servant and a citizen. Gets a piety, a production, and a resource. So first piety doesn't get us anything special. Production will start paying off. And there's another resource. So yeah, we can afford the granary still. Let's get it done. There's the granary. Bought and paid for. And then we've still got a resource that we could be spending. We could still scout if we wanted to. We might as well spend the resource and get a citizen. I mean, we haven't built the Ludus Gladiatorius yet either. I can't build it right now because I don't have a load of servants for it. Maybe we want the courthouse so we can get a load of servants. Turn builders into servants. That could be even better this time. So soldier and builder together could get me a discipline, which would be another builder. Or I could just do builder down here in the fort. Gets me that third discipline, which gets me a builder, which I can spend down here to get me another citizen. And now we've got a couple of citizens. We can get another resource from the patricians here. Oh, why don't we? Yeah, spend a citizen on the patricians. I think just the one on there. And then I'm going to scout again. And this is risky because it's completely blocking in which shapes I need to use. I should maybe have... Oh, do you know what I should have done? This is still blocking me completely in, but I'm going to do some take-backsies. Because I'm a solo kind of guy. Why wouldn't I just go along the bottom here? Because that's still okay, because looking at it sideways, I'm a thinking inside the box kind of guy. You need to do some outside thinking. You could then... I'm still locking myself completely in here to having to have that straight shape later on. Oh, I've never tried that before, because the advantage of that is I can do it this way, but also I kind of leave it really late before I end up filling the rows in. But this way, that's 2 rows filled in. I think that's a lot better. And I get 2 servants right now, and hopefully I've got something I can do with them. So yeah, I've now got 2 Valor, which is the soldier back. Yeah, that's definitely a better way to do it. Oh yeah, take back time classic. Hi Anne. He finished 47 with 71 points. It took 3 tries, but the first one was a problem because you forgot you couldn't build landmarks. It's easy to forget. That's why I've like scribbled out this diplomat, because I know quite soon I'm going to end up trying to go for it. But yeah, they're getting tougher, aren't they? Right, what was I... Oh yeah, it was take back time. So I've got some servants now, which could be traded in for something else, or we're right next to the production next time. Forget next time though. Why not servant, servant, citizen over... Yeah, the priest track's the only way to do it. First space of the priest track, there's another servant, there is another production, and a resource for right now. It's just a shame I can't get one more resource. I was thinking of doing that. I was going to go down the middle and get one more resource, so I had 2 resources and then get this next cohort. But instead, I think I've done something a lot better than that. Nearly at this 4. A soldier can go there, but I wouldn't be able... I've got nothing to build the small road with. So, we maybe just make some progress. I don't think there's anything else to do with these things. So we could start on the Sippy, and eventually that really starts paying off. But let's keep going along the wall. Wall with the resource, and we could go for fort, but let's do wall guard another time, because we're going to want some defending, aren't we, in a bit. I think that's an okay year 2. What is... what's the number? I need my zoom in screen again. It is 2 attacks on medium difficulty. So we are getting attacked from the right, that's okay, and the right, unfortunately. So 1 goes through, 1 gets defended. So that's a double whammy. 1 Valor, but 1 Disdain. But we can build the bat, we can get rid of it. Hopefully we will. New round then. So you can all go away, and we get a new card. Just the 1 soldier and builder. 3 servants. Maybe this is the time to build the Gladiatorius, or the courthouse. 2 citizens, 1 resource. And that's in the middle, the first middle card to come out. My decision. Yes, forget about this. Oh dear, the other one has come out. I don't know that I'm getting all the way to the end of the patricians track this round. Especially since the citizen that would help me do that is on this card. Let's take the shape. And I want Final Disdain to be at 0, right? I need it to be at 0. So I know we don't care about points, but if we did, it'd look a little something like this. 2 resources from the card. I've got to watch out I don't get too many resources here, because then production, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a builder and a citizen. And we need to be at 5 on the theatre to be able to do the theatre. 5 on performance to do the theatre again. Ouch. It's a bit... It's a bit harder. We're not going to get the scouts done, are we? We might need to use the thingy shaped later in the game if I want to do that. But I don't necessarily need to do that. It does get me more soldiers, which would be better for defending and stuff, but I need to build the gladiators next round. Do you think number 4, you think we can get away with another one without it? I was thinking maybe this time, either build that or the courthouse. Because the courthouse will help you in getting more servants and turning builders into a load of servants, which could really help us. But again, you need to be loads on that track if you want to do that. Right, we can work this out. We need... Yeah, I'm going to go along the performance again. We need to go along that anyway. And now there's a soldier. And in year 3, I'm spending a resource. And we get a piety. It's only our second one. And a servant. I'm working on the theatre just because we need to do the Ludus Gladiatorius. So since we need to go along this track, it's some nice benefits for just spending a bit of resources, but it does mean that I'm racing up this track when I might not be doing that otherwise. Patricians and wool will get you scouts. Yeah, the wool would definitely get us scouts. The patricians. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can I could do... The only thing stopping me from finishing off the scouts with the shape is just I don't think I can focus on the citizens to finish that off this time. I don't think I should. We should definitely... So that before you move to this round. Okay, I get you. But I think, yeah, we can do that. We got some good servants this time. If we built the court... No, we're so far away on the track. Stop thinking about the courthouse. Right. 1 on there will get us another cohort. And what do you reckon? Probability-wise, middle hasn't come out the most. But I'll leave it to you. We've got 1 more cohort coming in. We've only got 1 on each of the directions at the moment. But we've had 2 cards from left, 1 from middle, 3 from right. We do need to build the Ludus Gladiatorius before I forget. Luckily, we've got loads of stuff. And there it is, and the renown that comes with it. And then we've still got resources. Well, another resource there is a renown, which is nearly a citizen. We've got these 2 soldiers, could just be the next cohort. Middle. Done. And just got the 1 citizen right now, but it could just be on there getting me the renown. I wouldn't be at a position to do any more scouting though. We could just be putting people in for the gladiator training as well. We need to get 12 of them over the course of the game, don't we? Although I have got... I'm not at 4 on the track. Stop thinking about the courthouse. How many more times? Yeah, I think it might be worth doing that patricians for that. And, you know, another builder there, another thing up there, there's another citizen. And that would get us to 8, but not quite 9. Actually, and the next one along, it is doable. I don't know if it's a waste doing it. Let's give it a go. So there's that. We're not going to build the small road, although it's tempting. Is it tempting? It always feels like a waste. I suppose doing it in year 3 is better than I normally do it. But I'm going to use a resource up here. And then I'm going to use the citizen right away on the patricians to get a renown, which gets me another citizen. Then let's get to 7. There's a soldier. I'm going to use him straight away on the scouting. There's a resource. This can get me to 8, which is another renown. I feel like I'm getting myself sidetracked again. It'll be okay. Oh, because now we've got resources and we can get to the Sippy and get the cohort that way instead of using the soldiers up there. Yeah, this is good. And then, how was I getting the one more? Oh yeah, soldier on here. You're allowed to use soldiers on the fort. Gets me another citizen. This does waste the last level of theatre, which is a patrician's movement. There's another resource though, which now isn't going to be wasted. And we can now scout with the last soldier that I've got. And there's the scouts completed, which for some reason is always my goal in a game. I think I need to give myself another. Should have 2 from battle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we should have 6. Which gives me another soldier back. And then I have a load of resources, and maybe they should just be on the Sippy. I could work towards the next income, but should they just go in training? And I guess the sooner we build them up, we can start getting renown with them. As soon as they've got 4 health, they can't die from fighting. So then we can risk it, can't we? I think I'm going to stick... Let's train red first. I got the red pen. So we are at 5 on the gladiator track. That's fine. And yeah, feed into the lions. Training. I'm glad you're with me. And so the 4 resources could actually go... Actually, getting this citizen right now doesn't really help. I can't do anything with a citizen. It will get me into a better position somewhere though, won't it? Because we need to build these bats eventually. We need to get to the next level of performers to do that next time. Yeah, let's just do it. 1, 2, 3. Gets me a cohort. Where do you think it should go? And then the 4th gets me a citizen, which I will use... To go up performers. Although we do need to build those baths. Quick, sharp. We need resources then as well. Oh, we've still got a soldier. In middle for the discipline. The discipline isn't going to get us anything right now though. Because I am getting a discipline from the soldier. I'm kind of thinking... Maybe hedge our bets on another direction a little bit. 4 cards are coming out, so I suppose anything could happen. They could all just come from the same direction, and then I'll regret not putting it in middle. But I'm thinking, let's just go against probability. Rights come out the most, but there's only 3 cards. You can't really say very much. I'm going for right. Although now they're all going to come out from the middle, aren't I? And I'll look daft. 1, 2, 3, 4. Picts are attacking. 1, 2. It didn't matter. It didn't matter the one where I put it. Oh, you can train citizens as well. Oh yeah, they could have gone in there, but I think it will be. It's one I don't have to spend next time. And really, it doesn't matter, does it? They have. You can spend multiple ones in a year. I won't take that back. But yes, we defended the whole thing, which I am very pleased about. Which means, what's the grey number? 2 still. So 2 Valor. And then we're on for year 4. I feel like I'm motoring along a lot more than I usually am. 1 soldier. And really, there should be. This is like the 10th playthrough, isn't it? 2 builders, 2 servants. I hope my mute button's working all nicely. Right, that's everything from that. Left. And, okay, my choice is going to be engineer or pontiff. Again, stop thinking about these things. We've done the scouting anyway. So do you want a builder and a resource, or 2 servants? I mean, for the gladiators, we want 2 servants, don't we? In terms of the building, if I want to be building the baths or the courthouse, I want these. Because it's year 4, but we're so far down in the courthouse, like we need to spend so many citizens to get to that point. Although same can be said for the baths. We have to finish with no disdain. Neither gets us citizens. I feel like courthouse might end up being a necessity. I don't know that we can really spend anything else on production, though. We will get an Imperatoris from the theatre this time, and a discipline will get us closer to a builder anyway. The soldiers are now free to actually do soldier duties, now that the cohorts are filled up. Oh, it's tough. Either way. I could plan out what I'm going to do exactly with all of this stuff and then come back to it. Doesn't work like that, though. I feel like it would be such a waste not to do the courthouse. Because right now, I would be spending 2 servants to build that. And getting the citizens to be able to do it and everything. But even if we only used these 3 spaces, that's 3 servants back. And if we trade in builders in future rounds, that's potentially 6 more, which is basically the training done. If we can do that, of course, and get to the right level of the thing. So what are you saying then? Which one do you want? Well, we've got the servants here. If you want to build the baths as well, take the pontiff, but I don't know that there's going to be the resources to do that. Because there's only 4 coming in on income. We're not going to be able to build them both now. So we need to get to 5 on the track, which is a lot of steps. We are getting 1 for free from the theatre. Risk of regretting this, I'll go for... Oh, yeah, that goes here for points, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll go for builder and resource. I'm not very sure about that. And then we get citizen, builder, and 4 resources. So straight away, let's get a resource in. We're at level 6. So year 4. Here comes a discipline and an Imperatoris. Hey Daniel, how's it going? And then we need to move up Imperatoris then, don't we? So there gets me a soldier, which I can't get these things out for some reason. Next one gets me a discipline, which gets me a builder. And then it's got so many builders now. Probably wanted the servants actually. Could we cope without using any resources for things? I don't think so. And not moving along here at all. Because we could build the bat and the courthouse if I had gone for the other one. Yeah, we do. It's just going to be a problem. It depends how the disdain's going to go for the rest of the game. Because we can only do 2 per year. So I'm thinking, should I swap this for those 2 servants? All I would be able to really afford was to do these 2. And I wouldn't have a resource to actually do one of the rulings. One of the bribes. And there's no real way of getting a resource. I don't think I'm going to have 2 citizens to go up the traders. No, we will. Yeah, swap that round. 2 servants, I think it will make it possible. Look how sure I sound. So we were at 4. Let's get this courthouse built. 2 resources, 2 servants, 1 builder. The building is built. So we can do 1 thing per column per year. I get a renown for building it. And straight away, because it doesn't cost us anything, we can gain a servant back. Oh, so maybe I didn't need the 2 servants. Oh, we can't loop around like this all night. No, we'll stick with it, stick with it. 2 servants, a builder, and 2 bricks. Is the baths built? And there's another renown, and there's another citizen. I think we can afford to give up a builder to get 2 servants. We could get that next production. That's going to help us enough. Okay, so now what? Still training needs to be done. How were you getting a resource? You were so sure you were going to get a resource. Or 2 citizens over here and the traders. And then we can... That will give us the resource that we can use to do the bribe. Or we can wait. It's just... Yeah, it all depends on how many bribes we need. But we're going to need more bribes if we don't get cohorts. Right, let's... 1 soldier can definitely go and get the next cohort space. A problem when crossing out the red things, I guess. So it wasn't an ideal choice of pen. So yeah, should we even it up? The cards are pretty even, to be honest. Middle's a little bit more likely. We're not. If we were about to get a builder, I might think it a little bit different. But there we go. So yeah, do we get the traders and just do the bribe, and then we'll have resources next time for the. And we could put the servants up here. Oh, that seems wasteful, though. They should just go on training, right? I mean, the next 2 rounds, it's going to be nice having 2 extra resources, but... get the traders movement, get that resource, spend it at the baths, washing away the disdain. Doing some bribery. Then we've got another soldier, another builder. We're almost at 5 for the large granary. 6 is the large hotel, but I don't have the resources for it anyway. The soldier could come down here. I've tried Fort 2 this afternoon, but failed epically. The first few, I kept failing on. I can't remember if it was the first 2 or 3. I was having a really bad run of it. And, like, I think the actual live streams, I did abysmally, and then had to just keep going and going and going and going. And then eventually, I don't think I ever did it on Fort 1, but I got the challenge on Fort 2, I think. I managed to finally do it and get the challenge. And I wonder if the challenge rewards are kind of carrying me through, but I do keep succeeding and getting the challenge. We'll see if I manage it this time. I think they're getting tougher, but also it's that they're making you do different things, right? Which is what's great about the solo forts. So like gladiators, for example, like temples last time. I don't do the temples, but you had to fill them last time. I don't do the gladiators, but you've got to get them all the way across. Oh, the Patreon bot's working. Thanks, Anne, for reviving the Patreon bot. Hey, number 6. Are you playing Hadrian's Wall right now? Oh, brilliant. Oh, I'm glad I introduced it to you or encouraged you to give it a go. Right, what am I doing? So we're finished with all of that stuff. We've got no more citizens, but we could get another one. I think they should go in training, shouldn't they? They shouldn't go and get resources. But we could. Why not spend... We're at level 6, so we can train this gladiator 2 more times with 2 more people. And so now we can put him in for a fight, right? I don't spend anything to put him into a fight, do I? It's just, I say, you're fighting now. After training, you may have them battle. Yeah, so, and then he gets the reward underneath the point that he's trained to. Yeah, because the number on the card can only be 1, 2, or 3, and he's got 4 health, so he's fine. It's a 3, unfortunately, which means he might not be training again. Oh, he might not be fighting again, so he loses. That's okay, isn't it? Yeah, because they don't need to survive, it says, so they can have no health. They just had 12 strength, right? So he's got 1 health, so he's probably not training. Although maybe he will on his last one. He doesn't need to be alive, it says specifically. But I do gain... Which row do I get the reward from? Is it his training point or the point where his health is left? Their rightmost circled box of the gladiator that just battled. Okay then, so that's 2 piety. 2 renown, which is close to another citizen. So yeah, definitely worth training a bit. Yeah, could train 1 more time when they're at 3, and whether they live or not, yeah, might as well battle. But you don't want to battle and have them die at 5 health, because then you can't get them to the 12 that we need. So we've still got a builder, still got a soldier, can't really do anything about... Can't really help that much, unless I use them both down here and get a citizen, which I then use to get something. The piety. Oh, I don't get the piety, Anne, because you get the piety if they die. If they live, you get the... You don't get the piety. Do you get the piety as well? I am rusty on the gladiators. It's been nearly a year, hasn't it, since Hadrian's Wall came out? What a year. Yeah, if they die, they get the piety, but if they live... They just get renown. So it's one or the other. And he's lived because he's lost 3 health, but he had 4. So he just gets renown because he lived. Okay, so we've still got a couple of things to spend. I think, yeah, could I do anything helpful with just a citizen We do want to... Oh, actually, yes, because hopefully this is correcting a kind of a goof, actually. They do need to come along here and get me a citizen because I need to be at 5 on a Peritoris to be able to do that. So, yes, they do need to go there, and then that gives me a builder to do something with. And the builder could go up on the soldier track if I wanted them to. Or just work towards another cohort space there. You can only do it once per year. Just go on the soldier track, get them closer to the next cohort, because I don't think we've done much cohort work this year. 6 cards coming in. And then the 1 servant is training again. We're not at 8, so we're going to have to start training. Yeah, I don't think it's worth building up the production or anything like that. Okay, so picked attacking. 2, 4, 6. It's just a flesh wound, yeah. 2 of each we've got protected. That is pretty fantastic, isn't it? Still pretty even in the rows. And that's with a card coming out. I think if we hadn't fought with the Gladiator and drawn one of the cards, we wouldn't have defended against that. That's much better luck than I usually have fighting the picked, I feel like, anyway. I haven't got the data to back that up. The grey number is a 3, so that is 1, 2, 3 Valor. Soldier coming in. And yeah, on to round 5. 2 more soldiers, 2 more builders, 2 more servants, 1 more citizen, 1 resource. And the choice of cards. I'm not drawing the bot cards, am I? There is the bot choice. There's the bot choice this time. Well, yeah, I don't care about the shape. It would only be the market number, and I don't think I'm going to go into the markets. So total gladiator strength, if we were going for points, I'd be going for this, right? What's going to be more useful? Builder and a citizen, or a servant and a resource? It's a shame you can't do preemptive bribes. We've got 2 servants. We are going to get builders as income, though, aren't we? But we can turn a builder into 2 servants. And then we're going to have 4 more resources, and I don't think I'm going to build any more buildings. Yeah, I think we go for the... And maybe we can still get a decent score. I'll go for the builder and the citizen. And then income is 4 resources and 1 citizen, 1 builder. And what do we want to do? So we need to be at 8 on the performers track. Let's get that done then. So 7 gets me a servant, 8 gets me a renown, which gets me a citizen. Now we're at 8, we can spend a resource to get me, what's this get me? A piety and a priest. So priest doesn't get me anything right now, but piety gets me a servant. And then before I forget, we need to be at 6 on this track. So there's a citizen. That gets me a discipline. And we can, for year 5, gain a servant there and trade in a builder for 2 servants. Like, are we going to do the gardens at all? It's nice extra movement, isn't it? Maybe just the first gardens. It does it really matter, though? I'm just thinking, I want to get to 9 here. But the first gardens gives you performers. We're probably not going to do the gardens. Just spend a citizen now. Go on, do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. Citizen on there. And that gets me a builder. 2 servants are training the red gladiator. Now we can go all the way because we're on number 9. Oh, I need to fill in the number on the theatre. Yeah, so train, not going to fight. Train, gonna fight, because as the fort goals say, the gladiators do not need to live. The out of focus pen pointing you to that bit of text. So yeah, they might as well fight, and maybe he'll live. 2, he lives! So with 1 health remaining, I should have put in, he fought in year 4, didn't he? And year 5. And yeah, he's all the way at the end, so I get a resource and 2 renown. Still got loads of servants, haven't I, if I want to do more of that. Okay, we probably want to do the granary. Build a servant, 2 resources. We're at 5, so that's okay. That gets us a renown, which gets us a citizen. And 6 would be citizen income, but at this point, is it helping? 2 soldiers can go up here, and 1 gets me a discipline, the other gets me a cohort. Where do you think the cohort should be? I feel like the cards are pretty even. Any of them's going to get me a discipline. Which one do you fancy? Hey Joel, how's it going? Marty, he's in his general food huff. But yes, Marty would. I think what would end Marty's huff is liking and subscribing and hey, supporting the channel in the various support channels that you can do. Yeah, you don't get the piety unless they don't. So yes, 1 cohort coming in, and then a lot of other stuff to spend. I think center, middle, you got it. We are protected in the center. We get a discipline, which gives us another builder. I feel like I want to spend 2 builders. There's building point 6, but here is another discipline and another cohort. Where do you want the next cohort to be? Probably in one of these, right? Because then it's another discipline, and I'm sure we could get 1 more from somewhere else, and that would be another builder. So what do you reckon, left or right? Or are you really feeling center again? Okay, nothing to do up here yet. Probably might train a bit more. 3 more servants, and that's your training, isn't it? Want to think about protection. Well, 3, why not? 3 more servants. Do I want to use them for anything else? I could use them to get a builder, but I don't think so. Let's do 3 more trainings and fight after the 3rd training because he's got 4 health, can't die. 2. Takes 2 damage. Actually, there's no difference in the reward between 4 and 5. I was thinking maybe you want to wait until he's health 5 before he fights. Can you fight again? Can you train him all the way up to 6? And then do you have to train and then fight? Or could you fight... If I got him to level 6 now and fought, and he had enough health to fight again in year 6, can you do that? Or is it... I think it's after training, isn't it? So he took 2 damage, that's 2 renown coming in, which is a piety, which is nothing. But yeah, really far along on the renown. And if we build the landmark, the archway, builder and 2 resources, there's 2 valor and there's a soldier. Okay, what else do we want? Just more protection, more cohorts if you can, please. The only restriction is that you can only fight once per year. Left, I'll go for that. There's another discipline. Yeah, because how is it worded? You can definitely only do it once per year. Anything you have to put the year number in is that restriction. After training, you may have them battle. Yeah, I feel like you have to train then battle. It does say after training do it. So I don't think in year 6 I could just decide to battle 1 more time, knowing that he's going to die, whatever card comes up, to get the great reward again. You would have had to push your luck a bit earlier to get more rewards, which sounds fair. That sounds like the way it's meant to be done. So, can't do anything in the baths either, because I haven't picked up the disdain yet. So we've got these resources. Why don't we? 1, 2. There's a renown and a cohort. So let's just even it up again. Over to the right, there is another builder from the protection. I had another resource then. I've spent it already. But that can go up on the sippy because we've done the space underneath. And where do you think that? So we're even again. We're at 3 on each. Which direction do you want defending the most? We've still got quite a bit we can use here. I can only use 1 citizen up here, but I'm sure we could get a soldier. Like getting a Paratorius to 7 with this citizen. There's another soldier, and there's another cohort. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me. Citizen there gets me a soldier, 2 soldiers, and a builder. Builder can be trained to go 1, 2, 3. So we've got 2 cohorts coming in. So we can protect from 2 more directions. Another discipline. And then we've still got servants and 2 builders. The builders, though, can't really do anything about protection right now. Just going to have to hope that we get fairly protected and cross our fingers for the end as well. Maybe just move them along to try and get this cohort. We're not going to have loads of resources, are we, to get all the way along here? At least I've built the granary. Let's get them just along here. That gives me a citizen. Citizen can be spent getting me a discipline. Nothing there. Another servant, I think, would help really. Or nothing. I don't really need to move up in a Paratorius anymore. You think both in the centre, Daniel? So that gives me a discipline. 1 off another protection. So yeah, both in 1 place would give me a valor, which would give me a soldier right now, but that soldier then wouldn't be able to do anything in particular, is the only thing with that. But yeah, it's you don't know what's going to come out. I feel like they're pretty even the directions still. 6 on the left. 8 in the middle. 7 on the right. Yeah, we get another soldier, but I don't think we could really do anything with that soldier this time. Whereas if we got the soldier in a future round, maybe it would help us reach one of the things. Just because we've got nothing else left this time. Going on probability, it should be left and right. But yeah, it's very small probabilities, really. We haven't really seen very much of the deck. And then this servant, probably... I could use the servant to get another builder, because I'm definitely getting the servants that I need there. Why not? And then that builder can cross off another space along here. I feel like I'm going to hedge left and right. Sorry to completely ignore you, Daniel, but I'm feeling overly cautious. Out of an abundance of caution, I am protecting the sides. So the most we could get is 3. If we got 3 disdain, that would be it, wouldn't it? Okay, protected, 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 protected. 4 on the right. There we go. Yeah, it didn't matter about the left at all. Whew, it's really tense because, like, it's something that, unless you get all the cohorts, you can't do anything about this. Like, the final attack, you can't get rid of that disdain. And it's not just, that's not the challenge, that is the goal of the game. And we can't use, maybe we should, I suppose that's why you could have the favours, and if you use them, you don't get the challenge. So we get 3 valor for that. 2, 3. Get a soldier. Year 6. And we get 2 soldiers, 3 builders, 1... I can't pick things up. 1 servant, 1 citizen, 1 resource. So a lot more rights come out now than anything else, I think. And then the final choice, don't think about the points too much, citizen and resource or builder and resource. I think builder and resource, although I am getting another builder as income, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the end of that row. Do you want to build the temples as a last minute panic? But then if we use the favour, we don't get the challenge, and I feel like I'd be letting the campaign down if I don't do the challenge as well at this point. I don't know, it's strange actually ignoring the points. That, like, I don't know what would help us more out of those, really. We don't particularly need citizens anymore, do we? We're already at 9 here, and that's the big one. And we'll get plenty of citizens from here. I think builders. So, took this one underneath. Collected goods, which is guaranteed to get us nout. The goals again. Oh, yes. The goal for this fort. So, to actually win it, you have to have both gladiators fully trained. They don't need to live. And you must have no disdain. So, you lose if a single attack gets through at the end. Challenge is to not use any favors. So yeah, it would make sense to build at least 1 temple and get it filled to get a favor, so that if an attack did slip through, you would still win. You would not succeed in the challenge. But I guess, yeah, unless you've done a better job than I have of filling in all of the cohorts, which I don't think I've ever done actually, then yeah, I would need more. I've not done as much on production, but I think maybe I panicked a bit. I think I spent a bit too much too early on these, maybe. Although getting the renown and stuff gave me things that I definitely used a lot. I might have panicked a bit, and I should maybe have put a bit more into production. Maybe. But I don't know. Yeah, getting all the cohorts is tough. And I'm pretty sure I haven't managed it. Yeah, I can gain the favour. It's just, yeah, do not use any favours. Yeah, is the full wording of it. So it's probably in my interests to get a favour. Because it would be pretty sad to lose on a single attack getting through, wouldn't it? So let's prioritise stopping attacks. Soldiers then. Three soldiers. 1, 2, 3. One gets me a discipline, which gets me a builder. And we've got a cohort to choose. I think now I'll go on left so that I can get a valor, because then that's another soldier. See, I don't think I can get another soldier from it, because basically I need 2 soldiers to complete this, because 1 builder can go up here, and then that's another cohort, but I don't think I can get that. We can get builders down here, of course. Builder, and get a citizen. We only need 2 servants down here, so I could just leave it at, there's the free servant. But I don't think I need all of these builders. Let's trade a builder in for 2 servants. And we can get a couple of builders from the citizen tracks. Or we could put the citizens in the gladiators. I think let's do 2 more trainings and a fight. It's a middle. And it was 1 damage. So yeah, the first gladiator just has 1 health. Second gladiator, half health. And that gives me 2 renown and a citizen and a resource. So we can probably get a nice way along these bits, actually. Building the temple, I need a builder for that, as you might expect. Builder along here, though, gives me another citizen. And then we can spend just 2 resources on the sippy to complete it, because we've done the things underneath the chains. So another renown gets me a discipline, and then the last one gets me another cohort. Oh dear. Right, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the left. I think they're still fairly even. Left is the lowest, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the middle. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the right. So left is the most likely, but also the most protected right now. I feel like we're probably going to get a couple more cohorts as well. I'm going to go for right to get the Valor. I'm going to use a citizen to get a Peritores to get me another builder and fill in this last space on the fort, which gets me another cohort. And don't worry, now I'm going to go for middle. But now I can get a discipline, which gives me a Valor, which gives me a discipline. Oh, but I still need 2 Valor to get the soldier. What gets me Valor? The archway. Then I can get this cohort. Because I haven't got the resources to get too many along here. I don't think I'm going to end up with a load of resources to do it either. Build the archway. Because I'm at 15 on renown. Gives me 2 Valor, which gives me another soldier. Two more citizens along the traders track. Gives me another builder. 2 soldiers and a citizen. 2 soldiers and a builder trained up can finish this track. Get me another discipline, which gives me a thing back. Yeah, and we've got another cohort coming in. What do I want to do with it? Have the same protection on each. Either of these would give me a discipline. This would give me a renown. I can't particularly get more of either. So is the medium precinct actually? Yeah, Daniel. I could get a discipline in that way. But then that would give me a piety at this point. Yeah, I could get another builder over here as well. So getting more cohorts. I've only got 2 resources. And I don't think there is a... Oh, actually, if we fill up traders, there's the 3rd resource, and that's another cohort. That gets me a renown, which gets me nothing. That gets me a resource. 1, 2, 3. That gets me a citizen back. So I've got 2 cohorts to fill in. 1, I'm going to even it up. tempted to go on the outside and get both discipline, but then that just gives me a piety and we don't care about points, even though I seem to have a lot. So, I will pass the buck on to you. We have one cohort coming in. Which side do you think should be protected the most? Left has the fewest attacks, but there are still a load of cards in this deck, so they could be coming from anywhere. We are seeing 10 attacks as well. Like, I'm not even looking at the bots cards because I'm not going to use them. I don't want any more attacks coming in. I have used all the resources now, though, so I can't build a temple. So I don't know how smart that was. So what am I going to do with all of this stuff? Yeah, you need a resource to build a temple. So it's all or nothing, I'm afraid. It's going to come down to the final draw. Although, in drawing 10 cards, if we get 6 cards of one colour, of one direction, left, thanks, Anne. We get a discipline. It's all on you if we fail, right? None of this was my fault. But yeah, I have kind of gone in this all or nothing state. I'm not going to take it back. I do kind of want to succeed and get the challenge as well. But I don't think there's anything to be done with any of these things, is there? I mean, we can go 2 more spaces along mining and foresting, but we can get the medium precincts, I suppose, if we're thinking about point. Oh, that gets me a resource. We can build the temple. We can't put anyone in it, but we can build the temple. Oh no, I need another citizen. Yeah, it's 2 citizens for the medium precincts. So yeah, a citizen can get me a servant. Citizen can get me a servant. 3 servants can go mining. Yeah, you can't trade them into resources. And there is a production and a resource. The resource might as well just go on here for a renown, which gets me a citizen. But this loop isn't going anywhere helpful, I don't think. The only place... I actually completed citizen tracks. I was saying at the beginning of the game. I don't know how I'm going to do. I go another citizen on the only one I've got left. Priests, which gets me a piety, which is nothing. And so... I don't think the builder can do anything. And we never did the... It would have only been 1 more renown, but we never did the theatre after all that. I suppose, like, it wouldn't... I was already at 9 on the patricians anyway. So, it comes down to this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 cards decide our destiny. I suppose, in all likelihood, we're protected 6, 5, 5. We'd have to be quite unlucky, right? Yeah, we could trade them into something else at the forum. But I don't know what I would do with them either. Like, I would just go on the citizens and go up here. If you could trade them in for resources, that would be great. Maybe a bit macabre, but I might have gone for that. It always seems so zoomed in now, because I'm looking at the massive preview. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. I don't know what I'm counting here. I'm just counting directions, aren't we? Protected. I think this is okay, isn't it? We've got 4 more cards. If they're all left... We're fine, aren't we? Because we're protected 6 on the left, so even if this is left, it was right. Okay, it didn't matter. All the pressure's off. We got really well protected, but also quite lucky, especially early on as well. But I think if we'd gotten unluckier, we had the baths locked in and could have washed away disdain from earlier years. But yeah, that was much more focused about protecting myself than I would normally be, I think. But that's a full protection in the final year, and that is 4 Valor. So that Valor gives me a Renown, 2, 3, Soldier doesn't matter. And that's another thing. So I think, like, although we don't care about points in this, and I largely took these for their bonuses rather than thinking about what points they would get me, we might as well tot it up, haven't we? 24 points, 5 points. Again, score does not matter for this fort at all. Path cards. Completed cohorts. We did 1. So that's 1 point. Resource production, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just another point. Final disdain, 0, 3 points. So we're on 5. Large buildings. I did the large granary. I think that's all you're getting. The courthouse is pretty big. No, just 1 large building, so no points there. Total gladiator strength was full, so that's another 3. 8 points. Collected goods, I got none. So 8 points there. Disdain was 0. No minus points. So we're on 48, 53, 73, 81, which is a pretty nice score. You know, that is with the previous challenge reward in effect. But that means next time, in about a month, when I panic and realise that May is about to finish, there will be another Hadrian's Wall chapter where we'll get to start with a soldier and a citizen, and I haven't got a picture of it to put up for you, but Fort 9 has no extra rules, but the goal is you must have 8 trade goods in your market and score 80 or more points. The challenge is to build at least 3 landmarks and score 25 points in renown, which, to be honest, you know, I wasn't going for that at all. I suppose we didn't build the market whatsoever. But in previous games, I wonder if I've come close to that. 3 landmarks, I think, is unusual. That's going to take some doing. Get into the end of renown. I mean, yeah, just make sure the statue is one of your things. Get all the way across here. Build your resource production up a little bit more so that you can get to the end of the wall for those last couple of renown bits. Do the precincts and the... So yeah, looking forward to that. Really enjoyed doing the gladiators in the end. I completely took the wind out of the push your luck element of it by only fighting when I 100% knew they couldn't die. But hey, it still worked out. And I feel like a little bit less umming and ahhing from me. And we still managed to get through it. Which, hey, it's an hour and 29 one. Maybe that's what I normally am, though. But yes, there we go. That is another Hadrian's Wall thing. Thank you so much for joining me and helping me out. Your cohort decisions with a real victory here. I am off for now. You may well be seeing a post, I hope tomorrow. It depends on the time, but you should see a playthrough up on Patreon tomorrow for Scythe. A kind of, well, I've revisited some games, but a proper recorded, big proper revisit where hopefully I've got all of the things right, because I do always get reminded when it's getting a lot of views, as Scythe consistently does, or getting comments about old mistakes in it. I was new to this. I was rushing it 6 years ago. Hopefully I've got everything right this time. And yeah, it was a really fun playthrough to do. It was a lot longer because I was kind of meticulously checking every single move, you got the ultimate movement right this time. But hey, yeah, hopefully you will enjoy that. A proper kind of recorded revisit. And maybe there'll be more of that in the near future as well. Exciting things next week too. It's May, isn't it? There's going to be a vote. There's already things going to be arrived. I'll tell you now. And anyone else that watches this Hadrian's Wall stream and gets to the end of it, what's arrived already? Batman, Everybody Lies, from Portal Games, the detective modern crime board game, but it's Batman. Viticulture World, the cooperative expansion for viticulture. I've got Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, which I know isn't brand new, but I haven't played it and I'm keen. And I've just found out that the expansions that are coming for it at some point in the future add co-op to it. And what else has arrived? Something else, not quite secret. Oh, there will be a playthrough as well. I think on Monday there'll be a live playthrough for Youthia. So there might be we might do the coming up post on Sunday this week just to give a bit of extra notice. But hey, that's all for the future. Did look like this game. I don't think he did like it, did he? But it didn't seem like he would like it coming in. It seemed like he thought it was spreadsheety, right? And maybe it is. But hey, What a spreadsheet. I love Hadrian's Wall. And it's been about, when did it come out? Was it like May, June last year? It has been about a year, hasn't it? Of like some lovely solo action, some lovely multiplayer games of it as well, but mainly solo. Like, even on camera, there's been like 10 games of it, and off camera, probably about another 10. Which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but I have to play a load of different games. Coming back to a game is a nice achievement for me. But hey, after being pleased at how swift I was, I'll then blather on for another hour. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I will see you very, very soon, is the truncated version of all of that rambling. And yeah, hope you can join me again. See you soon. Bye, bye, bye.